Hi everyone. All right, so as promised, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on Vlookup for your quiz. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's select the right thing here. Okay, so for Vlookup, what we're trying to get after is pulling data from one sheet into another. As I discussed, you may want to say put in for team defense, you want to put all of the wins in here for each team. But you don't want to copy and paste all of those ins because you have multiple observations of people on the same team, different teams, all of these different things. So how do I pull, let's say, from team stats? I don't have wins on here. If I want to pull all of my data from team standings into wins or into team stats, well, I could organize, I can filter, I can sort different ways and then copy it over. More efficiently is to use VLOOKUP. So looking here in team standings, this is the one that I want to bring over. I have team year as the first column. That is our shared attribute column. And then I have all of this other data here that I want to pull over. So let's start with my wins here. I'll start with VLOOKUP equal VLOOKUP, and we're going to select A2. This is our reference. Our table array is going to be team standings. And we're going to bring it over all the data, but first we're going to start with wins. So I select the column, and then I hit false because we're looking for an exact match, and now I have wins. Another way of doing this is because we're going to pull over all of this information. Again, we're going to pull over from column 6 all the way over to column 21. We're going to pull all of that information over. Another thing that you could do is use a reference here instead. So let's look at this real quick. So we have VLOOKUP, A2 is our reference. We have our team standings. We do not want to use, column and row attributes, or I'm sorry, row attributes for the size, because that is just going to make it more difficult later on. So we have our formula here. Let's go ahead and add in our permanent references because we're going to try to pull in all of the data. So I'm looking only for A2. I want it to stay in that column. And I want it to stay in columns A and T. So again, if I move this over to get losses and I change this to column 7, I get losses now. So now I have wins and losses. And I can copy this down by using this bottom right-hand toggle and double-clicking, and it moves it all down. The other thing that I can do, let's delete all this, I don't want that, is put in a reference. So instead of putting wins and losses, I can put 6, 7, all of the column numbers that I want, all the way up to 15, I think it was. No, 21, I think is how many I need. Let's start at 20. So 6 through 20. Again, this would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So I want to pull over column 6 through 20. So instead of putting column number, I can put a reference here. I can reference this number. And so now I'm still telling the same thing. Reference, pull in, reference this cell from this table and pick this column number. And I still get the same thing. Okay. Before I move forward, I'm going to want it to stay at the top. Okay, and then I can just copy this over. And if we look and see in our team standings for Dallas, we have all of that same information. Point 2, point NFC East, NF made the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. And then I can just copy this down. And so now I have all of the data that I want. The problem is, though, that if I use this approach and then I want to change the labels out, if I change wins, it then messes it up. So once you have your data in here, what I would suggest is to select all of it, right-click, and then use paste. You can right-click and use paste values. You can also use paste up here, paste values. So now there's no more formulas, and I can just simply copy over these column headers, and put the column headers right here. And now I have a combined data table. Okay, we'll stop there. I'll post some more videos here shortly.